Hello, welcome to day 37 of the vlog of a pretty chill white guy. Okay, yesterday's video got almost 300 views, and I have to say, thank you so very, very much for sharing it. I saw it got shared on Twitter a few times. It got shared a couple of different places, and I really, really, really appreciate when you guys do that. I try to interact with you as much as I can when I see that, when you guys are tweeting me and talking to me about the videos. So please continue to do that. I will try to be even better about replying. I mean, sometimes I just busy with other things and I can't, but I will continue to try to reply and interact with you guys. I love that. Like I've said before many times, that's why I do these videos, for that interaction. So again, thank you so much for sharing yesterday's video, and please keep sharing them if you enjoy them, if it's something that you enjoy and something that adds entertainment value to your life. Okay, so today's video, I'm going to try to make this pretty quick. We shall see how that goes. It normally doesn't go super well, but I'm going to keep trying. Bill Maher, Sean Hannity, Kathy Griffin, Stephen Colbert. What do they all have in common? Some people were really mad at them for something they said or something that they did, and they all have had, so Kathy Griffin got fired, have shows on television. Or they're entertainers, and so they go do shows, right? So, they say something offensive to some people. They do something that some people get mad about, right? Well, and then there's these calls for them to get fired, them to lose their job, or them to not lose their job, right? And here's my take on it, okay? Here's my take. I don't think any of those people had to lose their job. Or, more specifically, let me clarify. I don't think the government should ever tell for what they did. I mean, you know, if one of them actually murdered somebody, the Kathy Griffin thing was pretty jacked up. It made it look like she murdered Donald Trump, but she didn't actually murder Donald Trump. You know, if they'd murdered somebody, well, the government's going to step in and say, well, you're going to jail. So that's going to make it hard for them to do a show, right? But to me, as long as the government doesn't step in and say, Kathy Griffin must get fired, or Sean Hannity must lose his show, right? As long as the government doesn't do that, then I'm going to be fairly okay with what happens. And here's why. You know, there's a ton of politics involved in it, and, you know, and I'm going to agree with it or I'm going to disagree with it politically, right? But we live in a country, you might live in the United States, I live in a country where we have this economy based on sort of free market. What that means is I do not have any obligation to interact with any particular company. I don't have to watch any TV show. I don't have to like or dislike anything. It's up to me. Do whatever I want. So Kathy Griffin goes out and says something super offensive. Well, I wasn't planning on going to a Kathy Griffin show. I will continue not going to Kathy Griffin shows, and I had no intention of watching her New Year's Eve special on CNN. So I will continue not watching that show. And I can even say, that's really messed up. I personally think she should lose her job for that, because chances are, if I did something like that, I would lose my job, right? And that's great. It's absolutely my right. And that's cool. I think that's how it should work. Is you have the right to voice that, and then the company has the right to say, nah, we're going to keep her. Or, you know what? We are going to fire her. That's pretty messed up. Stephen Colbert, right, made a pretty offensive, homophobic comment. And a bunch of people said he should lose his job. Yada, yada, yada. CBS said, actually, we're going to keep him. That's not that offensive to us, or we're not really hurt by that. Or, more likely, he's getting a bunch of really, really good ratings, so we're going to keep the show. They've got the right to do that. They can do that. It's their company. I don't watch Stephen Colbert. So, okay. Now, the other side of it is that you can even go so far, if you really disagree with something, that you can go and find a list of their advertisers and go after them and say, you know what? if you don't pull your advertising from this show, because that's a way to get a show shut down, you pull all the advertising, they lose money. That's what happened to Bill O'Reilly. He lost all the advertising on his show. He lost his job. Stephen Colbert, you could go that far and say, go boycott Kellogg's. I don't know who advertises on Stephen Colbert. Whoever does, go boycott them and let them know this is why. And maybe the economic pressure gets them to pull their advertising. That's you're a consumer. You can do whatever you want, but they can also ignore you. They have that right as well. And the reason I brought up Sean Hannity is because this is what happened with Sean Hannity. He's investigating the death of a guy named Seth Rich, and it's very political, and there's people who think that the Seth Rich was murdered because he was one of the people who leaked information about the DNC. And other people are like, no, this is a conspiracy theory. I don't know what happened to Seth Rich. I don't know. I think if Sean Hannity wants to go investigate Seth Rich's death further, it's his show, we can do that. But some people got upset, started calling sponsors. You better stop advertising on Sean Hannity's show. Well, I don't know how many of them did this, but USAA said, we're going to pull our advertising from Sean Hannity, right? Well, they have the right to do that. That's fine. Bunch of people who use USAA, and they probably should have seen this coming. It's a company that works pretty much exclusively for the military, and the military is more conservative than other branches of society, other groups of in society. A bunch of people called up and said, I'm going to cancel my membership. I'm going to cancel my business with you guys if you do this. If you don't go back and advertise on Sean Hannity, because this is jacked up and we completely disagree with this. Well, USA said, okay, so more people want us to advertise on the show than don't want us to advertise on the show. We're going to go advertise on the show again. Sweet. That's exactly how it's supposed to work, I think, personally. And I know some people get upset because, there will be a group that will badger and get somebody to cancel their advertising on a TV show, right? And they're like, oh, why would they do that? That's messed up. They shouldn't have done that because I like the show. Well, you should have called that advertiser as well. You knew it's happening, or you knew that it happened. So you should go back and call and get all of your friends to call up that advertiser and say, hey, don't pull your advertising. That's messed up. That's how it's like. I think that's fine. That's economics. You choose where to spend your money. You choose what entertainment you're going to interact with. You choose how you're going to do that, and you use your power to choose to influence however you want to. I think that's how it's supposed to work. I don't have a problem with that. And that is whether I agree or disagree. So that's cool. My biggest thing is I don't want the government telling me that's how it has to happen. It's none of your business. As long as the people aren't breaking the law, leave it alone. And don't go create laws that give you the authority to, go shut down a show or to go do this or do that if they do something that you politically disagree with. That'd be super jacked up. That would be something kind of like what Russia would do. All right, that's it for today. I will see you guys tomorrow.